Eh? Wait, that's weird. I just realized something. My YouTube channel has some kind of setting where it says people who are subscribed for 1 hour only can chat. How do I turn that off? Oh, I didn't even know it. I probably did that because of like spammers or something. But then now, how do I change that? How do I make it such that anyone can chat? I don't know how technology works. Help! Oh my goodness! How do you not have only subscriber mode? Oh, I do not know. Wait, I'm confused. Chat, give me a while. As per normal, Cookie spends first 1 minute figuring out how technology works. Is it this? It must be this. Channel guidelines? No, it's not channel guidelines. Shit me. Wait. Subscriber mode. YouTube chat. How do I turn it on and off? From content, select the premiere that you are doing. Okay. So like you mean this? And then what? Show more? Live chat? Huh? Uh, uh, Huh? Oh, I see it. Bro, YouTube's okay, this is probably something that YouTube does. Maybe terribly. Cause like when you change like certain Twitch settings in the chat and then you want people to, maybe go emote only or subscriber only, the ability to click the button is so fast. But then when it's like on YouTube, I have to like go to a different page in order to change that setting, and then afterwards I come back into it. So goodness me. Okay, anyways, I am here now. Hi. Welcome. So I am planning to just do a separate, Enfield only stream. I could have done it together with like some AK, but the thing is I just wanna do Enfield only because in the time that I haven't been streaming, I didn't catch up with all the new stuff that Enfield posted. And then apparently some of the content creators gain early access, which is cool, but I'm not gonna watch their gameplay. I'm just gonna like, do it for myself. You guys are collecting your stream streak. I wonder what is with this Twitch stream streak thing. I'm not even like keeping up with it, but thanks for showing me your streak at a certain time. Big Enfield news dropped yesterday. Really? Kill did a really good video to see the new systems. I would be wary to watch it, as in not saying that it's not a good video or anything. I'm only wary because apparently he's paid promotion. So like I always take paid promotions with a bit of a pinch of salt sometimes. But I'm not gonna watch it just because I want to experience it myself, which I will experience it soon enough on 28th November. So yeah. Okay. Let me go into Enfield's Twitter and take a look at certain stuff. And then I will update you guys on how my content creation life will be with relations to this month and what was I thinking? My brain is fried. In relation to this month and Enfield. Okay. So, did I eat any cookies today? No, I did not eat any cookies today. But do I eat cookies from time to time? Yes, I do. I've ever mentioned to people before that my favorite cookie is chocolate chip cookie, and it's usually the one that Subway sells. And like, um, I recently, eh, yeah, I recently went to Subway to get that very cookie, and I was so terribly saddened because they told me they didn't have it. Like I bought a whole meal and everything, and then the last thing I had to order was the cookie, and they said, "Oh, we don't have it." And I was like, "What did I come here for then?" It was all I wanted. So, yeah. Then, you're so excited on Enfield. It's good that you are. I hope most of you are. Oh yeah, by the way, I freaking love Fluorite. I'm a big Fluorite fan. Okay, I will do all the fanboying activities after this. Let me go through the news one by one. All right, starting from here. I believe we've watched this, right? Is this the same as the? Is this the same PV as shown in the trailer? Was it a bit different? I'm not playing music because I'm afraid of DMCA. Oh, it's a bit different. Wait, I'm confused. Oh, this one's new? Cool. Will the music kill me? I don't know. Oh, I would love to play the Maze Garden again when I get back. Oh, wait, that's a sneak peek. Whoa. That's a dragoon. Stare. It's a dragoon. Who is this lady? Why is she NPC? Oh my god, cow poop. Fertilizers. Can I join them? I can't. That's so sad. What is that? What is that? What did you just do? Oh, photo filters. Well, changing it red makes it look like it's a blight. During the shoe event when blight was a thing. Oh my goodness, having a freaking cleaner truck around is kind of funny. You see, I'm becoming a mute enjoyer. I just don't want to get DMCA in case it is a DMCA. I don't think it is, but oh else. Oh, that's another boss. Oh, cutscenes, sneak peeks, so many sneak peeks. You know, I spent 100 hours playing the previous Enfield beta test. That makes me wonder if this Enfield beta test has newer content, newer shit to do. How many hours am I supposed to spend in the next beta gameplay? Help me. Well, clearly that whatever dragon lady is going to be a NPC that follows us in the story of Hongshan, we would see. Idealism is something you will probably never receive. Wait, it's probably something you will never receive, something back, but nevertheless still decide to give. Wait, is that English? Idealism is something that you will probably never receive something back. I guess it's English. It works. It sounds a bit weird, but it works. But nonetheless, still decide to give. Ah, okay, no. I get it now. I get it now. Oh, sorry. I'm breaking the phrase. I'm breaking the parts of the statement wrongly. You're supposed to read it like idealism is probably something you will never receive. No, it's weird. It's weird because the word something shouldn't be there, right? It's like idealism is something you probably should never receive. Idealism is that you'll probably never receive something. I cannot English lah. My brain's fried. Okay, fine. Fine. And we see if they've grown and transformed into what you envision. Okay. Teaser. Tata. I don't like that. Wait, that makes me downrate the game. No, I don't like cheap blushing scenes. Nope. Nope. If I'm gonna give this game 10 out of 10, it's now a 9 out of 10. You can't beat me like that. Okay, cool. Recruitment closing soon. Guys, go, go, go. Get your access in. Okay. So they were showcasing everybody's gameplay, right? So Chen is now a 5-star. Chen can perform up to 5 basic attack sequences, dealing physical damage to enemies. When performing a finisher on an enemy, Chen Qianyu deals massive physical damage and restores some SP. Would that be everyone? Would everyone restore SP when they perform a final attack? I think that's kind of the mechanic that they are doing, right?
Weakness spotted!
Performs an uppercut slash at the target enemy, dealing damage and applying lift. Okay, remember that.
My turn!
Combo trigger. When an enemy becomes vulnerable, unleashes a slashing dash that passes through the target enemy, dealing damage and applying lift to all enemies along the way. Oh, AoE attack. The combo trigger is changed. What was the previous trigger? Wait, becomes vulnerable. So like any vulnerable stack counts? Is it? No, it wasn't always AoE. Previously it was 2, right? In beta test 1, the combo trigger was when you deal vulnerable to 2 or more enemies. Oh, but now it's just an enemy. So they changed quite a few things. So the enemy count required to be vulnerable has changed to 1. And now it doesn't lift 2 enemies only. It lifts any amount of enemies. I think that's what made her a 5-star. I mean, anyone with true AoE skills are always interesting and good in any game. I mean, it's the same for AK. Anybody who has true AoE is a decent catch to take note of. So... Huh. Oh, she was already true AoE in beta? Okay, so they just made her easier to use then. So it's just the condition is easier. I think it's good. It's good that they make that change to one enemy. So much easier. Otherwise, you wouldn't be using Chen that much within a team. I find this fascinating to evaluate units in Enfield because an interesting thing with Enfield is that every character has 4 skills, right? They have the basic attack, they have a skill, they have a combo attack, and they have an ultimate. And it just so happened that the number of skills that you can use in... It's weird I'm going to make this comparison, but the number of skills you can use in Valorant is the same. That you can use 4 skills. There's an ultimate, and then there's 3 other skills. And usually when you have a 4-skill game, people always... It's just fun to be able to assess just within this range of just 4 things and think like how they work together and how they can be pretty good. You know, makes it very easy for me to make some analysis of the character. So yeah, I think this is great. I do wonder if with a game like this, will they make buffs, nerfs, and changes to the character? I guess they won't. I feel like if they were going to buff a character, they will probably just do it in the form of weapons, gears. And if not, if they somehow introduce like some kind of module thing in the future, they might do it. So yeah.
Cast
Ultimate performs a 7-sequence slash attack that deals massive damage to the target enemy. The final slash sequence deals even more damage. So you are basically just a stat stick. I'm quite sure that I feel like I felt this way of Chen, and I think I still feel this way of Chen now, that in her 4-star category, I thought Chen was the weakest. I mean, Dapan is comparable. But I feel like because Chen is a stat stick, that's a bit problematic in the sense that usually stat stick characters just gets overwhelmed when a 6-star stat stick comes into play, right? Like if you think of a stat stick character in regular AK, like Flamebringer, or who the hell is the Crusher 5-star? Can't remember. Or if you think like Firewatch, right? Like those with very, very high attack values. Once you get a 6-star variant who is normally going to be higher than them, the only way for the 5-star to feel like a 6-star or feel good to use is if they have good utility. So like, yeah, I don't think she's gonna be very popular just based on this sequence. It depends on how her combo skill can be effective. I think if you are going for like a pure physical damage focused team, Chen will probably be fine. But okay. If you think about it, in this duration, she's untargetable. I think there's quite a few characters, to be honest. There are a few characters where when they perform an attack sequence, they are iframed, untargetable during that time. So, yeah. Is it illegal territory to nerf characters you potentially paid big money to get? Oh, that's just gacha games. Yes, you are right. Yes, gacha games tend to not nerf characters. No, but they can nerf characters in the sense of like, if they had like a pre-testing of a character and then later on when the game actually releases a character, then they nerf it type of thing. Yeah, they could do that.
As cast.
A combo is strong for physical team. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking about. That like, the only time that I think you'll end up thinking about using Chen on like a voluntarily basis is that if you're running a physical focus team, then I think you'll be choosing her. Can't wait to see which unit in the game will have the same birthday as me at some point. All right. Perlica. Perlica can perform up to 4 basic sequences, dealing electric damage to enemies. When performing a finisher on an enemy, Perlica will deal massive electric damage and restore SP. Okay, from what it seems, right, everybody has the same basic attack. And I'm assuming that unless their talent, like when you add their talent in, when's the next beta? Are the keys already sent out? No, the keys are not sent out yet, and the next beta is on 28 November. Anyways, I think the only time that their basic attack changes is if they have a talent that you spend a bit of materials on, and if it changes it a bit, then that will be different. Otherwise, it seems like everyone is gonna do the same thing. Oh, but it is interesting. Okay, this is fascinating to see because Chen's basic attack sequences is 5, while Perlica is 4. So I think this is going to be something that we end up thinking about when the game comes out with, variety of characters for us to use, which is like, if our characters actually have ASPD, right, like attack speed in the game, and then afterwards you want to be able to do finishes a lot, right, you will probably end up wanting, especially if you think that the finisher attacks are important into your team, then you will run the situation where, you want to have a person who has a low number of basic attack counts in order to deal with the finisher. Then that's the strange thing, because it feels like the lower the attack count, the more likely you end up picking the person as like the main controlled person. But then again, there are some times that you don't really give a shit about the number of basic attack sequences it is, because, for example, if you're using Snowshine and your focus is to parry, then you don't really care because you're not gonna deal much basic attacks onto them. So yeah, but it's interesting. It's interesting to think that these small little detail might come into play when the games are out.
Coda and finale. Strike command.
Unleashes a bolt of electromagnetic energy dealing damage and applies electric infliction to enemies in a small area. So this makes me think that it's also through AoE. Did they decide to make everybody in the game through AoE to make it simpler? That makes a lot more sense because if you think about it, it's weird if like, unless a person has a chain attack, you know, like if I have a chain caster in the game, then I can understand like attack count. But if they make everything like attack AoE in a range, it would be cool. It makes things a lot simpler to like plan and decide what to do. So okay. Why does her skill name have a face? What symbol is this? Omega. No. Omega doesn't look like that. What symbol is that? It's a Greek symbol. I don't know what Greek symbol it is for. It's not Omega, right? Omega is a... Oh, it is Omega? Lowercase Omega. Oh, I didn't know Omega is a lowercase. Okay.
Here's our
When the control operator performs a final strike on any enemy, so you don't have to use Perlica. Okay. Unleashes stored electromagnetic energy to bombard the target, dealing damage and applying electrification. This is instant electrification, by the way. So this is the... It's not the same as electric infliction. It's just straight up you have an electrification. Interesting. It's the same lah as original. Perlica is a very, very good starting character. And I think she will stay that. Like, you know how Perlica is the Amiya of Enfield, basically, right? Because she's our assistant. And Amiya is still someone you can think about here and then within AK because of her true damage. And then she also has multiple classes that you get to use. But like, you can use her mostly for the true damage use case unless you want a bombardment of arts damage. But because her combo trigger is so easy to apply, it's quite a comfortable starting mid-game league character, I think. The disadvantage of her combo skill, I think, is because she applies direct electrification, which means, like, let's say if you have a cryo infliction and electric infliction, I believe when you use her combo skill, it just consumes it, I think. So, a bit iffy, but it's still good. You just get free damage easily more often because of that combo.
target locked.
Okay, Teller protocols a massive piece of orbital debris into the target area with devastating impact. All enemies in the area of effect suffer massive damage. I mean, this is an okay skill. That's protocol Epsilon, I believe, right? Is the Epsilon?
Fire.
Did they change the standby action? I don't know if it always looked like that. No, but standby action is not the action in the character menu. This is like when she's idling in the world. Okay, no, then I think that might be the same. Oh.
Camp on command.
Okay. Pogranichnik. I cannot pronounce the last part of his name. Pogranichnik. Oh no, Pogranichnik. Am I pronouncing it right? Pogranichnik. Something along that line. Because it's a Russian name. I don't know if I'm getting it right. I'm pretty certain that the AK community will end up calling him just Pog in the future. Like, they can't pronounce his entire thing. Yeah. But yeah, Pogranichnik. No, Pogranichnik. Yes. I couldn't pronounce, I couldn't see the way to pronounce the word at first because I thought the CHNIK is together until I realized the NICH should be pronounced together. So yeah. Yeah, call him Hella Pork. Hella Pork. Okay? Okay. Pogranichnik can perform up to 5 basic attack sequences, dealing physical damage when performing a finisher. Okay. Massive physical damage and restore some SP. Okay, you see, this is already very interesting. I don't know if every character in the game, finisher attack, will restore the same amount of SP. But if every character does restore the same amount of SP, and you're trying to build some kind of like SP charger team, you might end up wanting a situation where you use a character who have either low basic attack sequences or they attack fast. I think this is going to be an interesting experiment to figure out like which character in the game has the fastest way to charge attack via finisher attacks, since that is a source of SP that you can get.
Your death awaits.
Performs 2 slashes at enemies in front, dealing damage and applying breach. So breach is lowering an enemy's defense, increasing the physical damage taken by the enemy. Wait, no, it might not mean the same thing. Is crush lowering their defense, and then is breach increasing the physical damage taken? Is that it? I had to see when they write crush, because breach and crush are both different things. I'm gonna just go by their explanation for now, which it says increases physical damage taken by the enemy. So yeah. Oh, breach is just decrease enemy defense. Okay, but they write it that way, increase damage. So, okay. 2 slashes at the enemy in front. So this is Helga skill 2, it sounds like, being in this game. Actually no, it's more like Helga skill 3. Performing slashes in front, yeah, that's Helga skill 3.
Never retreat.
Oh wait, his slash is not forward though. He doesn't slash like vertically down. I thought that's what he was gonna do, but no, he slashed sideways. That is a very big range.
Never retreat.
Like he does one vertical and he does one horizontal. I'm assuming that that's the area of effect as well. Like, will the enemies to the side get hit from the vertical attack? I wonder. Okay, combo trigger. When a physical effect consumes an enemy's vulnerable stacks. Okay. Performs a series of slashes equal to the number of vulnerable stacks consumed, dealing damage and restoring some SP. Oh! Oh! Wait! This is interesting. So the maximum number of vulnerable stacks that you can apply is 4. So apparently the number of attacks that he additionally deals is equivalent to the number of vulnerable stacks. And it says restoring SP. Does the amount of SP restored rely on the number of vulnerable stacks? Like if there's more stacks, I get more... Aish, what a sneeze. I get more SP. What's the difference between vulnerable and breach? Breach is like a... Oh, but breach does consume vulnerable. Well, it's supposed to tie in with his skill 2. Vulnerable stacks are like any type of... I forgot what's the ruling. Some physical infliction. When you apply certain physical infliction, or if they directly apply vulnerable, then they'll get a vulnerable stacks. And then I think breach and crush consumes it. So, yeah. This is really good. Fascinated. I wonder if he'll pair well with Li Feng and Ember. I need to see what Li Feng and Ember's kits are now to see whether this is good. Okay. Summons a shield guard to fight alongside Pogranichnik. Each time an enemy suffers a physical status or takes damage from his combo skill, the shield guard attacks as well, dealing damage and restoring some SP. Each time an enemy suffers a physical status or takes damage from his combo skill. Oh! So the shield guard is like, holy shit, wait, no. He's the Teemo of this game now. Am I remembering the correct person? Or is it Annie in League of Legends? Who's the one that summons a bear to fight with them for a period of time? Annie. So he summons a shield guard, and the shield guard will fight with him for, I think, a duration of time. So what he's saying here is that if himself or anybody deals a physical status during the ult, the shield guard will deal an attack. So the shield guard is just a phantom. The shield guard doesn't actually hit. You need triggers for the shield guards to hit. So if someone applies a physical status, then the shield guard will do a slam. If you trigger his combo skill, then the shield guard will also attack. But the thing is, it says every time it takes damage from a combo skill. So it literally means in order to have the maximum benefit for this particular unit, what you actually want is before you use his ult, you already stack up vulnerable to 4 stacks, you use his ult, then you trigger his combo. No, but then you see, in order to trigger his combo says when you consume a physical status, right? If you see this, sorry, when you consume the vulnerable stacks, which usually consuming a vulnerable stacks happens when someone applies a physical status. So what this then creates is the maximum damage that you deal with Perlica is by going for out first. No, wait, 4 vulnerable stacks first, one way or another. Out. Let someone deal a physical status, and then combo. So when you do that, the shield guard will attack 5 times, basically. Because the physical status comes first, and then afterwards, if you maximize the combo attack into 4 slashes, the shield guards can attack 5 times. And then if you have more physical damage skills that you can still use after that, which you probably can, because you restore SP for every time the shield guard attacks. So what I believe this ends up happening is that when you use his ult and then you use a skill and then you use the combo and then you gain SP, you can probably use more skills again. And then by using more skills again, then you can let the shield guard attack more while it still has its duration of time in the map itself. So I'm gonna think that you might be able to even like... There's a chance that the shield guard could hit up to 10 times. I'm being ambitious. I think there's a maximum number of hits that the shield guard could achieve, and I'm gonna say 10. And then if not 10, I feel like in most best case scenario, you'll have like the shield guard hitting 7 times or 8 times. Unless the shield guard has like a maximum limit of like 5 and it will disappear. But this is a very self-sufficient skill. Oh, you guys are all saying there should be a maximum limit for the shield guard. So there's no point like spamming physical damage skills. Okay. This is a very good 6-star. This is a very fun 6-star. I would say. A bit of thinking, but I think when you get used to it, I feel like you'll enjoy it a lot. It's good. He's definitely going to be one of my faves in the game. By the way, as much as I was reviewing Chen just now, technically Chen pairs well with him because Lift is a physical status. Chen will apply vulnerable, and therefore you could be using her with this team. But I do wonder what the rest are doing, so we'll find out. His team is very F2P. Yeah, actually it's true. He's probably, you can use him as just a solo DPS in the team. You don't really need anybody else to be DPSing. From the looks of it, you just need people who can satisfy his conditions, which goes to say you can literally run like him only, and then I can even say that if you have 2 4-stars, 1 5-star, or like 1 4-star, 2 5-stars, that's like the minimum to feel sufficient to run a team with him. I think you can basically full build him based on what I'm reading. So it's good. It's good.
Command.
What a good ult. Woohoo! What a fantastic ult. Can he solo all bosses? I think if a boss has a physical resist, probably not.
It's time.
Hi. Antal. Antal can perform up to 4 basic attack sequences dealing electric damage when performing a finisher. Okay, so again, everyone has the same exact basic attack. I think this is going to be the case for like all the time, but I do wonder if at a certain point will someone be different. By the way, everybody is calling him 12F, but there's no confirmation that he is 12F. He does look like 12F, but it's not guaranteed. You know, he could be a offspring or like a descendant type of thing. So, yeah. Applies focus with a long duration on the enemy. An enemy with active focus. Whoa! Whoa! Introducing new statuses before the game is even released. Help! Mate, it's like releasing Necrosis before we're even 4 years into the game. Applies focus, so it's a buff. Enemies with focus can take more electric and heat damage, so it's a specific infliction buff. Huh. It says the focus is a long duration. Very interesting. I'm gonna say that's probably 20 seconds. Probably the same amount of time as I forgot who's the buffer. Saihi? Yeah, probably the same duration as Saihi.
Hasted victory.
When an enemy with active focus suffers from a physical or arts effect, triggers 1 energy explosion on the enemy that deals damage and applies an additional stack of the same physical or arts effect. Hey, are you sure you're a 4-star? I don't think his damage will match a 5 or 6-star, but his utility is really good. So basically you get like, since everything is 4 stacks, right? You can have 4 stacks of physical infliction, you can have 4 stacks of every element. So he's basically giving a free stack, which is going to be good for like, so it's going to be good for Perlica or Pogranichnik. He's going to be a name I need to learn how to pronounce over time. I'll figure it out. He's going to be good for him, or if not, he's also going to be good for Yvonne. Yvonne also loves if you can stack Cryo as much as possible to amplify her damage. So basically any character who wants more stacks, you know, this guy Antal is going to help. But it does say that the enemy must have an active focus, which is a bit annoying because it means that you must trigger his skill before you can trigger his combo skill. Unless there's other characters in the game that have focus, then maybe it makes it easier to trigger his combo skill more often. But like, I think that's the disadvantage of Antal as a 4-star, I suppose, because his trigger condition is he needs a skill. Like he needs his own skill to turn on. And that just means that you're using SP for him. So, okay.
Victory.
Amplifies the circuit, temporarily increasing the entire team's electric and heat damage. Bro, straight up buffer. Pure buffer energy. Damn. I need to see his stats when the game's out. This guy is going to be on some teams, for sure. Huh.
Petrified.
What is he doing? He's just counting? He's counting in the air? Oh my god, he got old man energy. What the heck? But he doesn't even look that old. He's like me. My guy is miming. He legit looks like me. Okay. Fluorite.
Peace and smiles, ladies and gents.
Nature damage. Okay, we didn't have much nature damage in the previous one.
Tick-tock.
Kicks an improvised explosive that sticks to the enemy and explodes after a short delay, so slight W feeling. The explosion deals damage and applies nature infliction to all enemies in range. Interesting. Because it's a delay. So delay... okay, I'm actually quite fascinated because in Arknights, delay skills tend to not be very good. I would say. Like, for example, unless you are using the delay to like crowd the enemy. So like, for example, W skill 3, where the bombs trigger after a countdown, right? The good thing about it is that since it's AoE, if the enemy starts to all bunch up to where the bombs are, that's a good reason to have a delay. But then if you say like Seisa, where Seisa has a delay, it's so useless. Because guy plants a bomb and then the enemy just straight up walks past for 5 tiles a hit. But no, this is good. So I think delay has a more impactful tacticalness to it, simply because sometimes maybe you want to use the skill of the character. I'm not sure when this will trigger, but what I mean is you use a skill, but you don't want the nature infliction to be immediately applied. You might want that delay time to maybe sequence some attacks first, you know, to line up your combo in a certain way, and then because the nature infliction happens at a certain point in time, then you realize you can, you know, sync like this combo skill, now this one, now that one type of thing. So this is interesting to think about as to how it might work. You know, so it's just cool to think how this might sequence skills just because there's a delay. Very fascinating. Three seconds.
Tick-tock.
3 seconds. When an enemy has 2 or more stacks of cryo or nature infliction. Okay, I find this interesting. I don't know if this is going to happen more and more often, but they're making it a little bit easier, I feel. Because like just now, Antal, his conditions were heat and electric, was it? But then this time, you have someone who's focusing the other side, which is cryo and nature. Choose the target enemy to trigger a special explosion. Applies another infliction of the element already on the enemy. Oh, another support! You are just another Antal. Did I not get the early beta 2 access? Did I? I don't think so. You're saying it like as if I should be checking my email. I haven't checked my email. Bro, if I did, it would be so funny. And I didn't know. I don't think I did. Let me double check. Yeah, I didn't. But no, I have access to the game, as in like when the game is out. Yeah. I'll be able to play the beta. They invited content creators. I'm not big enough, guys. I'm not as big as them to gain the special early access. But I don't really mind. I don't want it. I just want to play it at the same time as everyone.
Savor this.
Quickly moves in an arc and rapidly fires at enemies within the arc to deal multiple hit damage. If an improvised explosive has been stuck to the enemy, it detonates immediately, increasing the damage and the size of the explosion. She's a soloist. Oh no. When you're a soloist character and you're a 4-star, I don't think it'll scale very well. Like, if I want to main her, for example, it's not a bad thing. I'll probably still main her. But like, yeah, when you're a solo DPS like that, it's very eh. There's no infliction as well. Goodness sake. She only has infliction on her skill. Okay.
End of the road, pal.
Simple. Good out. I think a lot of people are saying that she has very Ubel energy from what show was it? I can't remember. What freaking show is it? Freyren? Yeah. Hatcher.
Best.
Okay. Physical damage.
There's no escape.
Oof. Raises a shield that can block attacks and grants protection to self and nearby operators, successfully performing a retaliation bash, deals damage and applies vulnerable to the attacking enemy. We got Snowshine in a 4-star. Already.
There's no escape. Take cover.
Huh. Hmm. But protection is not a pure shield, right? I assume protection just means decreased damage taken. Interesting. Applies vulnerable is weird. No, it becomes a he becomes an ability. He becomes a way for you to vulnerable spam. You see, this is the thing that I don't get when people tell me that Enfield team crafting would be fun or like team theorizing would be fun. Cause like when I see just this number of characters alone, I think there's a lot of fluidity in what you want to play. You can go for a full parry focus team. You can go for a full like elaborate combo team, physical concentrated, cryo concentrated, or even synergize a whole bunch of people. Like I think this is too early for me to say this, but the reason why I'm looking so forward to Enfield is that I don't feel like I'm gonna get a situation of the HSR team comp kind of thing. Like, yes, there's still gonna be a best 4-man team that will eventually come out from the game, But then again, a part of me says that I don't really care about what the best 4-man team is, because I care more so what's the most fun 4-man team. You get what I mean? Like, that's the feeling that Enfield is giving me. Because the strongest 4-man team might not be the most fun. You get what I mean? Like, if you go pure, some kind of like quick skill cycle, combo, and there's not much of like your own input, and you don't really think about anything, you just like memorize just one simple step sequence, I'll probably get bored. You know, but if I get to like parry more often, or I get to, you know, mix and match certain things in order to have more fun attack sequences to come all together, like, I would love it. When an enemy starts charging up a skill, or when the control operator is attacked and has low HP, a powerful downward punch that deals damage to the enemy while granting shields on a 4-star. You're curious about actual flexibility. Imagine creating a team, and when one dies, your cycle is basically screwed up. No, but that's the thing. I've had situations in Enfield where I had certain characters die, but my team can still function. It breaks certain combo sequences, but you're not screwed. You can try to live with it. Isn't he a defender? No, but that's a really good defender. Imagine gaining a... I mean, I don't know if the shield like blocks out all types of damage, but if it does, that's crazy. It's so easy to generate, no? When an enemy charges up skill. I guess not all enemies do, but still, it's kind of interesting. I'm assuming that this will apply a vulnerable. So he is both a defensive person and a vulnerable person.
Take this! I'm taking you
Swings the great sword to perform 2 consecutive slashes, then slams it downwards, dealing multiple hits of damage and applying knockdown and weaken the enemy. I like the little pulse that he has on his ult. It's really nice. I think that's the knockdown effect. But that's his shield. Wait, why does his shield look so small? Is it small in the actual parry? Wait, what? My guy, what? He shields with his elbow. It's called a buckler? Wait, I don't care if it's called a buckler. It's got a buckle with my elbow to shield like that. Mate, what? Can you do that in real life? I've never seen a gladiator. I don't know, man. I always thought that elbow is a weak part of the human body. You know? No, I would think that if you use a shield, don't you use like your forearm? Do you really use your elbow? But like if it crushes you, elbow is the strongest bone. So I guess like, well, if you try to shield with your elbow and you get your elbow screwed, you just know that the enemy is not meant to be there. No, guys. It's his forearm. It's his forearm. Oh, it is his forearm. Okay. Thank you! Sorry, I thought it was on his elbow. I'm like, what guy puts a shield on his elbow? Okay, thank God. The world saved. Things make sense. But yes, elbow as a body part to attack someone is good. Yes, it is the strongest part to attack someone with. Should be closer to the wrist? No. If you shield something, you don't put it on your wrist. You don't want your wrist to break. It's a shield that will open up. Yeah, that was what I was wondering. Because it looks so small. But I couldn't see it open up in the video.
There's no escape.
Did it open up? Is it like really slow? No, it didn't. It didn't open up. It just stayed. My guy's using some arts to do the block. Alright. Estrella? Was it? No, Estella. Physical damage dealer as well. Okay.
Weak spot.
Thrust a lens. A lens forward, releasing a cryogenic sonic wave that deals damage and applies cryo infliction to all enemies in its path. Apparently all the skills are based on sound. Can be activated when any enemy is solid. Oh. Quickly moves to the enemy side, dealing damage to enemies in a small area and applying lift. Oh god. I feel bad. This character is does not have a nice trigger condition. Because solidified means that you need an arts infliction and then you need to do cryo after that. It's always annoying when you need 2 steps to reach something. But it's interesting because so you need an arts infliction and then you need a cryo infliction and then you'll trigger this. And then she deals lift, which lift assumingly gives vulnerable and is supposed to help someone else who has a physical infliction. So basically, it somewhat means that if you really do use her, you are using her specifically for a mixed team. A team where there's probably 2 arts dealers and then 2 physical dealers on the team. So that the sequence of attacks becomes like arts first and then physical type of thing. Or like triple arts and then 1 physical. Yeah, she basically suits hybrid teams more. Exerts full strength to slam the lance down, dealing massive damage to nearby enemies. Oh. Oh no. She's quite weak as a 4-star. Yeah. I too early to say, but I think she's quite weak as a 4-star. Cause it's too... She doesn't really give support. I don't understand her role. Unlike the others that we just saw, where, okay, cool, there's parry, okay, cool, you can help certain inflictions of the team. But in the case of this, you know, she helps to give a cryo infliction, sure. And then she's apparently like the middle of the pet trigger combo skill. Again, not a fun trigger condition. And then just a pure damage number out is very... Her damage has to be like really freaking good to justify why she doesn't have like any other abilities going on. Then maybe she'll be alright. But if her damage is not that high, wow, she might not appear that strong. Okay. Let me see her animation. Sleepy bear. Oh, is she a cat? She's not a bear. Is she a bear or a cat? I'm confused. She is a cat bear.
Overworked myself again.
What are you? It's a cat. I see. It will say in her intro. I don't see it. Oh, feline. Okay. Akekuri.
Break-in, Min? I can whip up a fresh pot for you.
Okay, so physical damage, but it seems like she's heat focused. Unleashes a frontal slash that deals damage and applies heat infliction. Can be activated when any enemy is staggered. Performs a 2-part thrust, each dealing damage and restoring some SP. Well, number one, you're not using this character when you're fighting a boss. You're not staggering anything. You are not using her in a boss. You can, okay? I'm not saying that you can't. And you're like, oh, you're gonna challenge me, Cookie? No, what I mean is, it's just not optimized. Stagger nodes are a thing, but bosses also have high stagger nodes. You get what I mean? Because like even if it's stagger nodes, there's still a big amount of HP. Like it's usually in percentages. Like normal enemies, now that normal enemies have stagger nodes, right? It's so much easier to procure her. But it's not as easy to procure her on like elite enemies or like bosses. To me, she seems pretty good in terms of like if you happen to need to farm a stage, if you're going like dungeon modes within the game, I think she's gonna be pretty good. Last boss has 3 times where she can do this. What do I mean? I need to see. I need to see how the stagger nodes become so easy to trigger. Like whether it's easy to trigger or not. But okay, performs a 2-part thrust, each dealing damage, restoring SP. It's interesting to see this. It's not terrible in terms of like procuring, and it's nice that it restores SP.
Team, follow my
Initiates us channeling, launching 3 rallying flares, each restoring some SP. What in the firework is this?
follow my flare. Let's go.
Wait, does it attack anyone?
Flare. Follow my flare. Let's go.
Wait! I got flag bearer in my game? Huh? She just stands there. Who said that she's Bennett? I don't even know what Bennett does in Genshin because I have not played Genshin in so long. But I don't think so, right? Is that what Bennett does? I do not know. I mean, she's gonna be used. That's for sure. Bennett does attack. Bennett just buffs. This is not buff. This is just team-wide support. And it's not even a support of like attack. Girl's just throwing a party. So she's a straight up SP battery. I mean, the interesting thing about the new characters that they've released and the fact that they've introduced the ability for like perfect dodge to give SP and they've also introduced finisher attack give SP is that there are more avenues for you to gain SP now, which is a good thing. And it's good that we have more SP batteries in the game that isn't just arc light anymore. And now you're gonna have some few options as to like who do you want as your SP battery. If you don't have an SP battery on the team, I think it will be a bit pain. It's not impossible, just a bit pain. It's a good 4-star. I think we've seen every 4-star, right? So I guess the one that I'm worried the most is Estella right now. I think the best 4-star. I don't think it's the best because Antal and Fluorite are quite similar. The best 4-star might be Catcher because pairing is just good. I want to say yeah. I think Catcher should be the best 4-star. Then I think Akekuri, Fluorite, and Antal would be like both about the same in the middle. And then Estella, I'm a bit worried as a 4-star. So yeah. I'll read that later. Let me see all the characters first. Min. Did they change anything?
Take this.
Okay.
Engage.
Fires a burst of original crystals at enemies ahead, dealing damage and applies crushed. So it's just massive physical damage, I think. Can be activated when another when another teammate's combo skill deals damage. Rushes to the enemy side to deal damage and seal them. I mean, seal in the game is like stun. Wait, was this always a trigger condition? It's still the same. Everything is the same. I don't think I used admin enough in the previous beta. I was using other characters instead of admin. It's a single target skill though. It's not mass seal. And some enemies are immune to seal. It's okay. If you only have one person to fight and that one person is not immune to seal, I think it's okay. Elites are immune and bosses as well. When you say elites are immune, it's not a good thing. I don't think all elites will be immune. I think certain elites will be immune. Bombards the ground with original crystals, dealing massive damage to enemies ahead. Sealed enemies will take additional damage. Again, admin is very stat-stick of a character. It's gonna be okay to use when you first start the game, but I feel like when you go down the line later in the game, I think you will probably not care as much. She combos with herself, yeah. This is basically a self-sufficient character, which is not good when you get like future self-sufficient characters who become stat sticks themselves. Utility characters in the game, just like in AK, are always very good because they will stay relevant kind of like for a long period of time. You know, like those that are like bridges from character to character in terms of like comboing their skills, or those that provides like a lot of inflictions will always be good. But then when your characters are just like, oh, I just deal massive damage, the next moment when they release, like, I don't know, when they release Citadel in the game, that stat sticker will be gone. Okay. Oh, was that all they showed? They haven't shown A. Okay, I guess they haven't shown A. I mean, they showed this. I'll take a look at it later. Follow to win. I guess this ended. Did any of you win? Ah, yes. So there's this whole news article, right? I have not read the news article yet. Okay, well, this is my first time reading it. Is this the one? Should I be reading it from here or is there something else? God damn, this is bright. Do you have dark mode? Do they have dark mode? Can I request dark mode? Enfielders, like whoever's working there. Oh my god, when I turn on dark mode, I see nothing. I have to see light. Okay, too bad. Okay, this is AK Enfield team. Since the beta test, we've reviewed your invaluable feedback and made various improvements. Okay, yeah, I see. So we're introducing regional development system that cohesively integrates regional exploration, AIC factory production, and trading. Your efforts at Enfield Industries will now be reflected. So this is very good, right? I think in the first beta test, a lot of people ask what's the purpose of the what is the purpose of the base? Like, as much as yes, you build an automated base, you don't really feel the impact 100% when you build the stuff. So the best way that they tried to do it in beta 1 is the fact that you have outposts where you can trade with the people. You try to better the lives of the people that live there, and then afterwards you have outposts. What do you mean? You get material? Yeah, but most people think that it's kind of boring, that it's just material. Like, somehow people are expecting more, you know? And like, if the only thing that you get is just, you know, say infinite materials just going into your depot, it might not feel like, eventually after a while, maybe that feeling won't quite last. But then when you can see that you building your base starts to affect many parts of the world, it's a good thing. So I think what I saw in the live stream and also in some of the teasers is that they made it such that when you build more things within the AIC, those things that you build can now impact a few more things that occurs on the map. Correct. So there's more changes to the environment basically. There's like more facilities that you get to upgrade around the map and more places that you can interact with. So I think it's a good little thing to give people the feeling that the base really matters to them. So as the development level increases, you can earn a new type of cert called regional stock bills. Yeah, so that's the thing that you use this as like a currency in order to better the place. Oh, but you can spend them to make operator gear, redeem critical resources, and upgrade core AIC areas. Interesting. Okay. We've added interactive gameplay specific to each region. You can now enjoy the gameplay on your own or with others. Others? For a more varied experience. For example, stock redistribution lets you track price curves and earn profits by buying low and selling high. Why do I have trading in the game? What do you mean? What the hell? I need context. What buying low, selling high? Why I got stocks in my game? Am I going to be a trader now? Am I gonna be like those hourly traders? I'm gonna be infinitely streaming, and then I'll be like telling you guys, I'm your trade advisor, guys. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, time to sell, time to sell, time to buy. Yeah, guys, you know what? We should do insider trading. If it means I can have a power, I'll make everyone buy and sell at the same time. We will stonks the crap out of Enfield together. Yes, guys, this is the time. You're right. I will never build myself a crypto coin. But if it means I can build a coin in Enfield, I should do it. Alright. Depot features a goods delivery gameplay where you can transfer and accept delivery jobs for a fun, cooperative delivery experience. Goods delivery gameplay. That's a strange one. That's a new feature, but I don't have a demo. I have to play beta 2 to find out what they mean by that. So yeah, they're trying to add more impact to the base. Like, you don't... So they're making it such that you don't just hold 10k worth of materials and let it sit there for nothing. They're trying to give you the opportunity to probably find more purpose in terms of like the things that you do. It was in the alpha? No? There's no goods delivery gameplay. Unless you mean like outpost trading, but that's not really... I don't know if I call that gameplay. It could be, but this sounds more than that. In the new region, Wuling, you can expect even more region-specific content. Okay, outpost management cycle. In Beta 2, we refined the outpost gameplay cycle. Now you can earn regional stock bills from outposts by supplying goods. So this is the standard. Yes, this is the standard gameplay in Beta 1, where that's the trading system with the outposts. The bills can be spent to upgrade and expand outposts to boost their ability to generate even more regional stock bills, okay? You can spend them to expand the AIC factory production or supply more goods to the outposts, forming a sustainable production profit cycle. It's really all about building the factory. We must build. Regional development benefits. So Regional development matrix can be earned in various ways to increase regional development level. As the level increases, advanced development options will become available and new functions will unlock across various regions. You will receive generous rewards throughout this process as well. Okay. Blueprint system. We've added it to make construction easier. Acquire and use various blueprints to quickly set up production lines and expedite development across various regions of Talos 2. System blueprints. Completing certain simulations will reward system blueprints, so defaults that the game can provide. These blueprints feature layouts ranging from basic production setups to complex assembly lines. You can use these layouts to easily replicate and build a complete automated production line. Creating and sharing blueprints. You can now save your own production lines as my blueprints and share them with friends both in and outside the game. And outside the game. So like, from like the SK land, am I gonna like be able to look at my, like a tab that I have of all the blueprints I save and then share it or something? You can also acquire other players' blueprints through blueprint sharing codes. You can choose to reference their layouts for inspiration or simply replicate them. Either way, your production efficiency will improve significantly. Okay. In Wuling, in Beta 2, you'll see fluid-based AIC technologies and introduce a new concept called Serenite. Okay. I will have to see what this is when it comes out. So it's just a new line of building that we will experience in a new region, which is gonna be fun. The main thing about Serenite is that basically Wuling is a bit more high-tech and therefore the wiring that you would do for like in the Valley 4 area, now you don't need wiring. They are automatically connected because of the power of Serenite. Depot bus optimization. So depot buses can only be placed at designated positions, but that limited how you can plan. So now, only specifically in Wuling, so not in the base area. That's a bit weird, but okay. You have more flexibility in arranging your depot buses by using depot bus ports and depot bus sections. When exploring Talos 2, you may come across shared facilities left behind by other players. This includes memo beacons for leaving messages, zipline facilities for traversing terrain, and easy stashes for storing or retrieving items. The footprints of early explorers can give assistance to those who come later. Shared facilities you place can be used by your friends as well and may appear on other players' maps. They connect different administrators and form a lasting bond between them. So if you have added friends, I assume you're more likely to see like remnants of your friend's stuff on your own world. But if you've not added anyone and you see such things, I assume it's just because it's the game's way of trying you to connect to friends and like connect you with players, which is okay. It's a nice feature. It's not something that I think people necessarily ask for, but I think we'll just come to appreciate it a little bit that, okay, yeah, it's nice to they exist. Other AIC factory optimizations. So with improved stuff, rules for unlocking simulations. Now, unlocking a phase of the AIC factory plan will automatically unlock all simulations within that phase. Interesting. But what do you mean by simulations within that phase? So I don't need to collect the balloon guy anymore? Is the balloon guy no longer relevant? Tips for formula details page. We've added smart tips to the formula details page. Now, when the production line is in an abnormal condition, a notification will appear on the formula's details page along with a recommended solution. Insufficient power output. Try switching off facilities to reduce power consumption. So if there are problems with your base, or like if the production is slow, I assume there's going to always be tips. Okay, interesting. We've added batch mode, which lets you blueprint, copy, move, stash. Okay, that's good. Production line logistics facilities. We've added 2 new facilities, item control port and pipe control port. Okay. It gives you precise control over the types and quantities of items that can be carried onto a transport belt or pipeline. Okay. You can now manage your production lines with unprecedented precision. Interesting. I will understand what that means when we get there. Hold on. You guys said that there's a Death Note 1. What is Death Note 1? Is this Death Note 1? Am I entering it? Nope. Is there a Death Note 1? Oh, there is. No, but this was in freaking February. Why are you making me read February? That's not relevant anymore. Okay, combat system. We've refined and polished the combat experience at a deep level. We want to preserve the strategic depth while making the combat smoother, improving feel of control and expanding tactical variety. You see, I'm so sorry, but when I hear people say shit that there's no strategic depth or there's no tactical variety, which is basically the thing that I feel that this game actually offers, I just find it weird. Like, why do they have a vendetta against Enfield or like Hyperglyph that they don't care about strategy? I mean, you can say that it's, I don't know, you can say it's a blank words and they're just saying it for the fun of it, but they care, you know, and strategy has different ways of presenting itself as strategy, so like, oh wells. Anyways, improve presentation and experience of combat. Okay, so actions, we made some skill animations, adjusted attack transitions, more natural movements, refined enemy reactions, okay. Special cues, more visuals for the operators, okay. Camera, refined camera movement, fair. Stagger node mechanic. So this was what we mentioned where there isn't just one stagger anymore. There will be a few moments where the enemies will stagger. Right, and it might affect the strategy, yes. Improve combat UI and button prompts, fair. Underlying mechanic optimization. So they changed the physical status as we know. So up to 4 vulnerable stacks. And then up to 4 arts infliction stacks, okay? Dodge controls. Operators can now perform 2 consecutive dodges within a short window. Dodging no longer interrupts basic attack sequences and allow for a smoother attack. Timing a dodge, right? Isn't this the enemy that is hard to dodge? Oh, so they gave... Wait. They made this in consideration to also debuff this enemy. So, this particular enemy in Beta 1 has a condition where if you dodge, you will still get hit by him because he launches 2 attack sequences. But now, you can dodge twice. You remember the enemy, when I dodge him, I still take damage. It's because he attacks twice. Beta 1 had a dodge mechanic problem because of the cooldown for your dodge. So his second hit will attack in Beta 1. Yeah. No, but now they're just making it better. Because one of the things that I'm thinking about when they when they introduce this 2 dodge mechanic is that some of you might say, oh, okay, more rooms for mistakes because I can dodge once and if I didn't do it properly, I can just dodge again. Type of thing, right? But then now they can also introduce enemies where you must dodge twice. You get what I mean? It's exactly as shown in this graphic, right? In the future, they might just introduce more people who needs double dodges. Otherwise, you can imagine they need double dodges. If you get the first hit, it's a big damage. If you get hit on the second hit, it's a much bigger damage. Yeah. And yeah, this could also mean that they can make bosses much harder. You know, just give me a triple hit, a 5-hit bosses, and it means that you need to dodge, you need to run away, you gotta get out of there. So yeah. Would be cool if there are attacks where you can't dodge. I'm pretty certain they will introduce it. Some bosses already have undodgeable stuff? Yes. Dodging no longer interrupts basic attack sequences, allowing for a smoother attack flow. Timing a dodge just right lands a perfect dodge, which restores stamina and restores a small amount of SP. Okay. We've optimized team AI, added coordination moves. Teammates now fight smarter, which makes it easier to achieve team synergy. They have more refined attack behavior, new moves and actions to make them behave more naturally and consistently. They'll make smarter use of equipped tacticals and support you based on real-time situation in battle. Interesting, I don't know what you mean by that. Combat voiceovers have also been improved to increase immersion. Don't know about that, but okay. Introduce operator tags to reflect the operator's combat characteristics. These tags can help you quickly understand the operator's strength and combat style. So it's basically like how there's tags in AK. So now there's tags in the game as well. Okay. Tutorial stages. All 5 stars and 6 stars will have exclusive tutorial stages. Why don't the 6 stars deserve them? to help you quickly master their combat styles and techniques to using them. Fair. We've added tools that let you view other teams' players' setups and combat strategies. And combat strategies, I don't get what you mean by that. Huh? I get team setups. What is combat strategies? It's some of you might say weapon loadout or gear loadout, but isn't that just setups? I'm not sure. Which buttons to press? But how do you know? You don't save it. Or will players be like sharing the combos that they found? Is it gonna be a thing in the game? Where they're gonna like create a thing where people can draw their map setup, like of actions that they would do. If they do that, it would be quite cool. It'll be very community based of a game, where people can just share their ideas and then upvote their ideas and we see what's popular and whatnot. That would be really cool if that's what they want this game to feel like. More stage content have been added and map features have been made to be more practical. We've added various interactive gameplay tailored to each region's ecology. For Valley 4, we've refined the experience of self-contained stages and updated the existing exploration content from the previous tests. I'm never really a fan of like too much puzzles within an open world game. I know it's something that fills content in an open world game. But yeah, these kind of things does make me feel... I always see them as very filler to do. I don't mind doing them, but you get what I mean. It doesn't make a game amazing. Our design centers around the regional signature of Fluid. We've added more fluid-based stage mechanics. You can now use jet drones to spray and unlock certain mechanisms or clear active flight. Additionally, we've added a wide variety of creatures and enemies with enhanced behavior patterns, so the ecosystem of Talos 2 feels more realistic and richly layered. Improve environmental art. Based on the storytelling and concept design, that looks like Pompeii. We've added some special scenic landscapes. As missions progress, these landscapes will undergo unexpected changes. Okay, good. Changes to the environment related to your story is good. We also refine the art of certain landmark structures to enhance their visual appeal and functionality. You can now purchase detectors and compasses.
At
Interesting.
Cookie K's Hi Cookie, I was approached by a person on DS. They were talking about cheating web Endfield event by creating scripts to find the code and selling those on Taobao. Does HG know?
I'm pretty certain Hypergift knows. I saw someone messaging me that on Discord, but like, it doesn't really matter in a sense of like, Hypergift probably knows, and if they can't do anything about it, then so be it. You know, type of thing. Because I think the whole web event of people like finding the code is kind of done. And to be fair, a part of me thinks if people are using scripts to create, like find ways to get the code, like the coordinates in order to get the Endfield key, a part of me thinks, while Hypergriff might not like the fact that people don't get it easily, they'll also be half impressed that people are writing codes to solve it. So, yeah. Anyways. Someone said that Hypergriff allows it in their rules. Cause like, you're thinking out of the box to solve something. And if you want to go do anything to get it, sure, I guess. There's a difference between that and, how do I say this? Scalping. You know, you're not really scalping per se. You have free methods of like trying to get there. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, the selling account parts is not nice. Who cares in the end? Everyone will get to play the game. I mean, the suckish part is people who really want to play the game earlier within the beta, but I think it's just bear with it. The game will release very soon anyways. Like what, this beta will go by fast. This beta will go past fast and eventually we'll all be able to play. It's prohibited to sell by the TOS. Of course, as with all TOSs, you should not be selling the keys. So yeah. So detector and compasses. When used, these tools reveal hidden storage crates or orelines. I mean, so they're basically letting you have a treasure chest hunting tool that doesn't need you to use like a guide online. Most people, I think some people will still do that, but people who want to discover stuff and then they give up, they can use this now. We've added new voiceovers and actions for operators. Now they give timely prompts on which way to go and help collect identified drops, so you can focus more on exploration and the adventure. We're very aware of the importance of storytelling and influence on your experience, so we've gone through a polished upgrade to the storytelling. Now, we've reviewed both the main story and the side stories, and made changes to the narrative pacing and character development. You'll experience a new chapter of the story unfolding in Wuling. Along with these changes, we've also updated or reworked the relevant cutscenes, audio, and sound effect resources. We've added new camera techniques and adding new character gestures, actions to bring the operator to life through 3D storytelling. Many side missions will now have cutscenes and cinematics to enhance emotional impact. We'll continue refining the game narrative performances to deliver a more immersive audiovisual experience. Friends and reception room, so very AK. You can now freely display your weapons, collectibles, and operator CVs in Dijiang. You can now show off engraved medals and share your collections and achievements with your friends. You can visit your friend's reception room, explore their room layout, or provide production assists, to their Dijiang cabins. Camera system. You can now control a camera, switch between first person and third person perspective, and adjust parameters such as focal length, aperture, and have filters, change team formation, and add stickers. I mean, like I said, the CN players and the Japanese players will love this feature. Engraved medal. You can earn engraved medals by completing in-game missions, achieving regional development goals, clearing combat challenges, and taking part in social activities. Acquired medals can be reforged to higher levels or trimmed to adopt new appearances. We hope that this helps you record every milestone in Talos 2. Multi-layered maps. This test introduced multi-layered maps. On the map screen, you can view and switch between different layers of the current area to better navigate complex terrain. Custom tags are also now available. You can use these tags to mark important locations for easier navigation. Interesting. This should be very inspired by RS, Rainbow Six, Destiny, Monster Hunter. Yes. You can switch status core on Dijiang and use the protocol singularity to switch administrator form. I can be both at the same time. Okay, controller mode, cool. Cross-platform adaptation and optimization. So you can now play on every platform altogether. Good. Localized experience. We've optimized the in-game text. We've systematically reviewed and revised text in all languages and refined sentence structures and expressions to better match the reading preferences of local players. For some languages, we've added the pronunciation of important and special terms to help you understand the game's concepts and setting more accurately. In addition to what mentioned in the DevCom, we are developing more in-game systems, new characters, and gameplay modes for beta test too. Good. We're continuously refining and polishing the game content. If you encounter any issues, please don't hesitate to tell us. So that is the DevCom. Okay. I think a lot of it I just need to experience when I'm in-game itself, and I will see how much I enjoy them. So it's good to see that they've done all of these things, and I'm looking forward to be able to play with these new characters. Honestly speaking, the good part about the blueprint system that I enjoy is not so much about the sharing. I think I'll be keen on sharing to people whatever I do if you are interested. But I think of it more so as the fact that you can now select all, copy, you can save it, and then you can paste it somewhere else for your own personal use. It's gonna enhance my own time of building a base because I need it, right? I need to save time instead of going single cell by single cell to build my stuff. So it's gonna be so helpful for me, and I look forward to doing that because that just means that it will cut down my own time that I take to build up a base as well, and that means I can spend more time on other things within the world, and that's good. All right. So that's that for the DevCom. Follow and repost code to win great rewards. Damn. You can win a PS5 Pro. God damn. I hope one of you won. Discord post livestream discussion event, 20 test slots. If you participate, you can get the key. Damn. So we've kind of seen these, I would say. Pretty much the same thing. Combustion makes the target take heat damage over time. Electrification makes the target temporarily take more arts damage. Solidification makes the target temporarily unable to move. Corrosion makes the target gradually lose all resistance over time. To an enemy with active solidification, applying vulnerable or physical status triggers Shatter, dealing a massive physical damage. Wait, this is a lot more complex than I thought. Let me open up this image and zoom in for you guys. I think this is the same as the start, but I never really thought about it in a certain way. Because you could be going from electrification to combustion, and you'll enhance the heat damage, I would think. You can go from cryo to physical. All resistance is final damage, right? Something along that line. I can't quite remember what all resistance refers to. But no, this just makes me realize, why would you don't always want to run a mono team. Because sometimes you might just want one of the inflictions going into another of the infliction. Right? You do a solidification to keep the enemy still. And then because you kept the enemy still, imagine you can go from solidification to electrification to... No, you go from electrification to solidification to combustion. I don't know what sequences you would make, and then you do it into a shatter. Like you have literally 4 giant inflictions to cause big damage. Like, I think it's possible. And yeah, it's not so much of like, oh, mix and match like heat onto some heat weak enemy. That's not really how this seems to work. It seems more so like you are supposed to pair them within themselves as well, which is very interesting. Besides physical, why would you run a mono team? Yeah, I mean, this just makes it seem like it's not a must to run a mono team. And you might still do a mono team because there are certain characters that appreciates mono. There are some characters that just wants heat stacks or cryo stacks to make it work. So yeah. Very interesting. Okay. So the bunch of stickers. I didn't play the ARG, by the way. But I felt like it was not so much of an ARG after all. It was just like, you know, plotting the coordinates and trying to see whether you can get it or not. So yeah. Is there any other page that I'm supposed to be reading? Or am I done? I might be done, I think, right? This says lore. No, but I don't think it's lore. This is just their main page. Watch Kyo video. I don't intend to watch Kyo video because I want to just watch it for myself. I mean, I just want to play it for myself. Am I gonna read the JP interview? The JP interview is with who? Is it a must for me to read the interview? Why do y'all want me to read the interview? It's a Lola and Roa. It's more like a heartfelt interview, right? I don't think it has any important stuff that goes on. They might describe the game more, but if they describe the game more, I feel like it's just gonna be like, I shall wait. Or is it more like them explaining why we did this, why we did that kind of interview? Like I said, I'm not watching Kyo's video because I just want to experience the game for myself. They do review some more stuff and behind the scenes. Endfield. MP. I can't read. I can't read. Actually, I could. I could try to read. But then I'll have a much harder time translating it to you guys. I mean, so this part says like this Enfield comes from it's produced by the game developers who were behind Arknights, hypergraph based in China, Shanghai, and it's their newest game. And they were PC platform, mobile, and PS5. And then from the 2D tower defense, now they've made a huge change and it's now a 3D release of a RPG game. The eh what does this say? The world premise will be a giant universal kind of space, something along that line, where you'll be on the planet of Talos 2. Yes, and players will be playing as the character of Administrator, who shall be the one to tell the tales and follow on. Yeah, you see, I'm like okay to understand certain parts of Japanese, but I can't like give you all a perfect translation, I would say. I'm winging it. My translation is good. I've learned Japanese. Like I can understand things that I'm reading. Like wait wait. Oh, on November 10th, they held a media and influencer invited conference. It was graced by Lowlight and Roa, who took us through the explanations of the game. Yeah, and well, okay, I'm actually confused with this line. I don't know what is it entirely saying. But yeah. Okay, yeah, I will struggle to translate everything in one go. I don't know where is this said translation that you guys said. I ever speak Japanese? No, I can't speak Japanese. I can, so the interesting thing about me and Chinese and Japanese is that I can read them okay, but when it comes to speaking them, I'm not the best. And when it comes to listening, I'm also not the best. It's like I'm a half-half in comprehending them. Oh my god, wait! Look at me! That's crazy! I'm a translator. Yeah, this was exactly what I said to you guys. AK Enfield is not a new idea. I was so sure of it. Enfield was the original game that this guy wanted to make. Which is pretty much why I'm so sorry, but I get really pissed at Tobo for saying shit like Hyperglyph is spineless. I think it's an insult to the fact that Why are you judging what the guy who brings you AK probably wants? Like, who are we to question what he wants? He explained that to run both simultaneously as live service games, they set them far apart on the timeline. Yeah, makes some sense to do so. There will be connections in the narrative, with many plot threads woven throughout. While knowledge of the previous game isn't required, those familiar with the original copy can enjoy discovering the connections. Yep. Why is Factory the iconic element? And he says it's Percy because he loves Factory games. Yes, Mr. Lowlight himself. And then there are players who complains that Enfield's a cash grab. Here's the thing that he folded out. I don't give a shit. I'm angry enough at someone who says things that are pointless to a place. Anyways, what am I supposed to say here? Suddenly I forgot what to say. Wait, let me reread where I am. After that, they began conceptualizing how to naturally integrate factory elements into anime-style sci-fi, which proved difficult and took nearly a year. There's almost no precedent for live service factory games, and figuring out how to make live service simulation coexist in the game is also challenging. After much trial and error, they released a video. Supplemented the strengths of factory games themselves, he cited the broad player base and ability to create something uniquely personal and meaningful through experiences like base constructions, production line design. Sandbox style freedom also makes it easier for players to share content on social media, which is another appeal. Centering long-term live service title around factories is a rare example. It feels they can showcase an entirely new concept. Ah, yes, to the players complaining cash grab on AK Endfield. The thing that I find about wait, guys, sorry, it's 12 a.m. What the fuck did I just say? Cash grab is that people think, oh, releasing old AK characters and putting in Endfield is cash grab, you know, trying to bait me into buying these characters, trying to bait me into pulling these characters, or trying to do Gunner bait kind of shit. But one of the things that I find a bit dumb about the word cash grab is you kind of have the choice to not spend money. You get what I mean? Like, if you say shit like, oh, the character looks too good, or like, this is a character that I like and I'm familiar with. Yeah, but that's the point. That's just what the game is supposed to do. The game is supposed to entice you with things that you want. Whether or not you spend at the end of the day is your choice. To me, my personal opinion of what a cash grab is if a character is so strong that apparently if I don't own that character, it doesn't help me to feel good at all in the game. Which in this case, I feel exactly like that with my Hoyoverse games, where if I don't own a certain character, I feel like utter crap, because it almost feels like my team will be dysfunctional. I'm not saying that Enfield will not give me that experience, because I do not know yet. I do not know what is their paid and free gacha system. But at least in reference to AK, and at least with how I see Enfield has a good variety of, you know, characters that you can play, I don't see what cash grab would be. Like, if cash grab means, will they be tempting me to spend because I really like a character because they look fun to play? Yeah, hell yeah. I don't see that as a cash grab. I make the choice that if I want to spend the money. But if the game releases someone that apparently they're so strong that it negates all 95% of the like characters in the game, that I call a cash grab. Like, even though Wizarda is really strong, I don't even think she's a cash grab. Because, like, I don't even use her. I use her when I feel like it. Like, when I suddenly say, okay, I just want to have a lazy day. But, like, I don't even have lazy days that often because I just want to have fun. So, yeah. I don't know. It's just weird when people complain shit about Enfield like that. Like, you all have the freedom of choice. It's the same thing as blueprints. You have the freedom of choice to use blueprints or not. If you don't like blueprints, just don't use it. And then people are like, oh, it's gonna affect the gameplay of other players. Well, that's other players. They want it. What do you mean affect the gameplay? They requested for it. It enhances their gameplay in their own way. It shall not enhance yours. You're still gonna play it the same way as to like building the base on your own. Did I go over the gearing system by any chance? They didn't write about it, but why? What about the gearing system? As in, I've played beta, want to know. People shouldn't be so emotionally attached to a video game. I agree. That's why I don't. I mean, by the way, I did promise that I wanted to make some videos about Endfield, but I've been chilling with my own real life matters, and yeah, I think I don't really mind that I do that because I'm not so sweaty about a game that I play. Did I know that they changed the ports for the game? Oh no, I don't. But I'll find out when I play the game. Alright. In Kill's video, you can see they made adjustment to the gearing system. I will find out when I play the game. You feel like there's parasocial relationships with games now? I don't develop relationships like that as much as I love AK. You know, I still have the separation of AK is my time to have fun with my brain, and then everything else real life is important to me. People use the zero-sum game explanation. Apparently benefiting someone else means harming yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. It's very weird. Title features not only factory elements but compelling combat content. Well, this part needs to be convinced. Let me play beta 2 and I'll find out. Having up to 4 operators on the screen is quite rare for both live service and mobile games. Fair. Fighting alongside characters allow players to experience cooperative combat. Feel a sense of presence and immersion of overcoming crisis together with companions. As long as it's not janky feeling. I mean, beta test was already okay enough, but let's see beta test 2. Oh my god, the team looks so big now. Because, oh, there's so much aura emanating in this team setup. The aiming for highest strategic depth, similar to card games. There are numerous options, and the way abnormal effects like arts anomalies and physical anomalies stack is particularly important. That's good. You see, that's the thing. I don't understand. Strategy is such a broad concept to discuss. It does not only have to exist in the form of like apparently only slow down deliberate movements is the only place where you can have strategy. There is a lot of elements to what strategy can be. Like if you say that, I mean, yeah, if people say slow methodical movement is good, then they're gonna say like card games are good. They're called strategy games. They're gonna say that auto chess games are good. They're gonna say board games are good. But then apparently action cannot have strategy. That I don't get, man. I don't know. I think we're desensitized to the fact that action games can sometimes look like there's no strategy because of certain major games. But like, yeah, we should bring that back. Action games can have good strategy. He expressed hope that players will enjoy their own squad compositions, unleashing individuality. So this is what I care about in Endfield as well. And free imagination regardless of operator rarity. Very good. New content and improvement in beta tests is announced and quite extensive. There will be changes large and small, additional Wuling, 9 new operators. Yes, the content volume is substantial. Nice. Operator tutorial. 50 to 60 hours of content with good pacing. Actually, it could be just this amount because now that they introduced Blueprint, I will save a lot of time on Blueprint. Sorry, presentation is reviewed. Numerous cutscenes are added. adopted a curated box garden style rather than open world with a natural linear design. Being able to go anywhere isn't necessarily a good experience for all players. Some players will drop out because they don't know what to do. I agree. By the way, this is a personal worry I have with Ananta. Actually, I find that their open world is too big. That I think in the start you will feel a bit of the dopamine rush of like, goddamn, new environment. Wow, the world is so big. But I actually think the more big a world becomes and the world has too much empty spaces, the more you start to a bit fall out and you're like, there's so much travel time, there's so little things to do. You know. I think people don't understand that big is not always good. Big is good when you have a lot of things to do. And Enfield is already very big, to be fair. But the thing I enjoy about Enfield is I feel good purpose to visit the many various parts of the world. Since you can, it's almost like you can construct lots of things. Ananta feels like it's trying to be everything, but also feels like nothing. I think you simplified what I think about the game. Yes. It looks really nice, but I personally think I'll get bored fast. Creating a subtle guiding presence, players can actually progress. Even in tutorials, rather than clearing obstacle objects, it's about defeating lane breakers that stands in your way. There will be elements where treasure chests are placed beyond fences, making players think how to reach them themselves. By increasing map density, they've achieved interest beyond just a simple linear path. This previous title featured story presentation in 2D illustrated ADV format, but this game features many 3D scenes. Lowlight explains that once 3D scenes are created, they're difficult to modify. Even partial modifications mean almost complete rework, which was the challenging part. Additionally, to achieve an atmosphere that fuses Arknight's realism with anime aesthetics, they repeatedly tested internally and constructed new frameworks. Regarding Wuling, Lowlight explained that it's a map with an Eastern worldview, while prefacing that Eastern-style worlds often evoke images of tradition and antiquity. This time, the concept is a future Eastern world. It's a fortress built atop of a rift, but also having aspects of an academy. The development team includes many graduates of China Academy of Art, so it's map incorporating much Chinese culture. Well, I'll give it to them that I don't mind being in Yan/China for the first official region, but I cannot wait for them to give me a European region, like a European/American region fast. So that way I think we can see the contrast of the worlds really, really early on. Then afterwards you start bouncing. You start bouncing between the west and the east when you start introducing new regions to the game. I mean, you bounce a bit between the west and the east, and then you also start going north and south. You know, start giving us the ice region, the Sami region of the game, as we progress on. You can use water to solve problems. If that's true. Okay. The question whether... Oh wait, by the way, that's the reason why I remember that when Wuwa released, I gave the complaint that Wuwa's first region was based in China. And the complaint was more so because it wasn't so much that I don't mean that they can't start the region in China, because clearly their market focus was for the Chinese players, which is basically what AK is doing. But there wasn't enough like localization and cultural definition that I feel from the case of Wuwa. Like when they went with the CN region first, I didn't really quite feel like this is truly what China is. Do you get what I mean? It's a very fictional China, you know. So it gives me a bit of like, it's a bit bland to me. Yeah. And then the other thing is that they didn't localize much of the Chinese names. And to me, when you make it like a global game and you don't localize much things, then it becomes very like, gosh, where is the at least some effort to make me feel like I can understand you guys a bit better? The going back to modern CN region in upcoming update? Oh, you mean like what? Yeah. But then in the case of AK, at least there's some efforts in terms of like making you feel at ease. You don't feel the pressure of like, oh, I don't know any Chinese thing and therefore I won't appreciate or understand stuff. Because the first region that you go to at least is the Enfield Industries area itself. So it's a very neutral place. And then afterwards you get to, because like if you see in the case of HSR, right? They started off with a neutral region also, which is basically the Herta space station. And then afterwards they moved on into Bellabog, which is a bit more of a, I'll give it as like a Northern Europe vibe of a place. And it feels pretty okay to ease into that. And then it's like later on they jump from west to east where they went for what the hell is the name of that place again? Shit, I forgot that second region that they had. You get what I mean? They did that for Genshin as well, where they had Mondstadt, which Mondstadt felt a bit of it's a bit Western vibe, but then also it's a bit of a neutral place, and then they went into Liyue afterwards before they started going to everything. So yes. TLDR, AK bias, so Enfield better than Ua, easy. No, I just think it's always nice to have like the Mondstadt, sorry, the neutral region feeling to start. No, but then again, I don't mind when regions go so deep into like a country as a reference, as long as I can feel the culture and the reference brimming, you know. Like I do still remember my feeling of playing HSR in terms of like, and I still do remember my feeling of playing Genshin when the first region was Mondstadt and the first region was Bellabog, where like there is some good um references into that sort of like regional culture that I can feel. But in the case of Enfield, it's very strong. I mean, we already see it, right? In the case of Enfield, you see rice fields, you see actual Chinese culture of people freaking eating traditional foods, spending their morning in the sun, shopping at the freaking wet market type of feeling. Like that's very nice of a touch. So yeah. Yeah, it's a bit like when I play Uwa's first CN region, which is based in China, a part of me feels like it's still not enough China type of feel. You get what I mean? It's like if you're gonna do it, just give me a real hard punch. Anyways, whether creating automated production is difficult, Rua explained that the development team continues trial and error. They've introduced blueprint systems this time. Sure. I will probably give my feedback after I play beta test 2 on how I think the base can be better. Because I think I have a good idea. And it's not something that I think they need to implement in the start of the game, but I want to see if they can implement it in the later part of the game. And I wonder how the community will react to this idea as well. I genuinely think it's quite good, and hopefully they'll think about it. Birth story of Perlica and Chen. Perlica, one day he dreamed of a girl riding across a motorcycle across the desert, which was the catalyst. When he shared the dream image of the team, the character Perlica was born. What the hell is wrong with this guy? This guy just births any characters that he wants. Says, I love shooter games, spawns shooter games. I love tower defense, gives tower defense. Man, just do anything he wants, man. Whatever collab that he wants as well. Oh, guys, what's the next game we should collab with? Oh, I know, Bang Dream. First character in the game was Perlica, it was Chen. Designed as a descendant of the Chen clan from the previous game. There's also a desire to somehow make her smile after she spent so much time scowling. I see. I mean, clearly Chen Qianyu is inspired by Chen herself, but yeah, cool. Regarding visual challenges, there's a contradictory matter which is recreating 2D into 3D with realistic anime aesthetics. They arrive at the expression that it's 3D but feels hand-drawn. Good. Expression depends on how light hits and the materials. To enhance immersion, Lowlight adopted methods of high-quality AA titles. Art team and technical team collaborated to smoothly connect all elements, paying attention to sitting poses and idle animations. Okay, particularly displaying 4 operators and numerous enemies on the same screen is a major issue. While high-definition models uses 80 to 100,000 polygons per characters, or 40,000 or 50,000 for mobile, CPU, GPU optimization is essential, and they even revealed Unity's foundation technology. It was a series of challenge. Additionally, regarding simultaneous worldwide release, with pre-recorded CVs in each language at the storyboard stage, localizing and convey character personalities across language and culture, the workload is massive, leading to significant growth for the development team. Oh yeah, I will play this beta on mobile. I will check how it feels on my current phone. Then again, my current phone is not good to show you guys what a budget phone will feel like. Maybe I'll go buy a budget phone, then I run it there, and we'll see how it goes. Can you play the game without having played 8K? We want both new and existing players to enjoy the game. We want to build a community together with everyone. We've prepared sufficient resources for anyone who hasn't played 8K to enter the world. Good. But there will be elements familiar to existing player, and it will just be Easter eggs. There might be differences based on the experience with factory games, but we've also prepared abundant guidance so that everyone can start on the same level and enjoy. People unfamiliar with the previous game can enjoy it. Those who want to learn more deeply about this game's worldview and Easter eggs might play the previous game inspired by this one. So that's their hope. With social elements being added, with multiplayer being implemented, we have a philosophy of meeting players' diverse needs, but we basically prioritize single player experience. We added some social elements to ArcNets as well. Social elements aren't related to monetization. We just hope that everyone enjoys them. Okay? Even if we implement multiplayer, we don't intend to make it mandatory. Ooh! 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 Okay? It's on the table. And I think they will. We primarily created single-player titles for a long time. Social elements are just like touches, designed so that even those uncomfortable with PvP can play comfortably. We're considering forms of cooperating with friends or building together in the future, but there's no short-term implementation plans. Good. Yeah, that's what I expect. I don't think they will introduce anything friend or co-op related. I think it's a very tall task to do it in the game. So I think they will prioritize more in terms of the solo experience first and make sure it's really, really refined and good for like the first few months or even year. And I think it's only after that then they will think, should we put some development into the multiplayer experience? Yeah, so basically we're gonna go from Endfield to Endfield to when multiplayer field. Concept the battle system. Focus on adjusting the balance between strategy and action. This RPG in combat is core part of the work. Rather than simple turn-based or quick, refreshing action that ends in a short time, we design strategic real-time battles. Strengthening action increases acceleration but decreases strategy. Conversely, prioritizing strategy makes pacing worse, so we repeatedly adjust to achieve balance. You see? You see? Anyways, as a long-term life service title, what update plans you consider? PS content consumption speed is faster than development speed. So the ideal is periodically updating content. Playtime differs from person. We hope that each version allows players to enjoy in their own style. Correct. That's what I'm expecting too. No, some content is approaching the final stages with polishing is progressing. We're preparing large-scale elements like battles and maps. I think we can deliver them to match everyone's pace. Good. Will automation force best solutions? Good factory games have an ultimate goal, and players have the flexibility to find their own answers towards it. In this game, the mechanism is that if you spend enough time, you'll definitely reach the goal. So there's no situation where you can't clear without the best solution. I think most players will be able to play the game in their own way without relying on guides. In the future, we'll continue polishing the industry system, preparing new elements. No worries, you can create individualistic automation lines. The design doesn't force any particular approach. Correct. No one's forcing you to use blueprints, and no one is saying that you can't use blueprints. If there was no blueprints, you're just going to copy someone anyways. Hypergraph aims to create good games and creates with full effort every day. Developing large-scale 3D titles is an unavoidable path. While there are harsh voices before, we honestly accepted them as beneficial opinions, and as a team without large-scale 3D game experience, we finally reached just before release. We hope that we can deliver better experience to the fans and players who encouraged us and feel we can challenge even more difficult games. Alright. Even among anime-style games, game designs vary differently. Some works are conceptualized for casual time killing, others for experiencing something or conveying ideas. The concepts are targets differ. Hypergraph has many gamers, and so among the massive number of anime-style games, there was a desire to create such games, and voices from players saying they wanted to play such things. So development and player desires align and production progress. Okay. Skins. Costumes are important elements in anime-style titles, but there's no implementation plans. We want to first focus on new maps and elements. Regarding costumes, we might introduce them if there is an appropriate form. Cool. MSR, as a radio will deliver advertisement music. We want to increase music for this brand and develop various projects like music programs. Please give us a word heading into beta test 2. I'm really nervous and I'd be happy if everyone enjoys playing. I think the review has made it much better. Please give us a feedback. Very nice of him. Yep. Yeah, I think let the game come out. Let the game come out in a very flash form. And I think whatever additional things that we can ask for, we can always ask for it as the game goes on. You know, I don't think the game. Oh no. I don't think the game needs to have everything under the sun right now. And like, I dropped something by the way, which was why I said, "Oh God." But I genuinely think that the current things that the game are offering is already going to be so much for people to experience. And as long as they do it well, give it a great 80-90% positive experience, I genuinely think a lot of people will enjoy it. And yeah. You're calling it Sea-Pow skins will be one of the first ones? No, I think Bloodline or Combat skins will be the first one. There's a lot of things that I think I would be asking for after beta test 2 ends in terms of like what I expect to see when the game launch, and I will probably make my assessment when I play beta test 2. So yeah. By the way, does anyone know how long beta test 2 lasts? Like I know when it starts, but how long does it last? Is it written anywhere? Is it 1 month? At least 2 weeks. It was 1 month for beta test 1. I'm gonna think that it will be 1 month again then. So 28 November to end of December. Okay, good. 2 weeks because from daily login. That was what happened in the previous one as well. So yeah, okay. Can play till Christmas then. Because I will be playing as soon as it starts, but then I will take a slight break in between from a bit of like the early December period. And then afterwards I will be streaming it more often again. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, it's good to read all of these stuff. I think that's all the things that I need to read, right? Should be all the things that I need to read. Okay. Then let me share with you all of you what are my sort of plans that I have in terms of like this month and the next coming month. So, interesting news to share with you guys. My dear editor Caffeinated Cat has actually I don't even know if he wants me to review this. But I'm not gonna say it in detail, but let's just cut it short as he's got a job. So basically, he has less time for me, and he needs to put more time on his job. So therefore, I am on a half editor, quarter editor basis. And I do have another editor, but even then, he's also not the most free. So let's just say I have I am basically returning into my 2022-2021 form, where a lot of the editing and video making liars is like the liabilities on me. Like I'm the guy who's supposed to run my channel type of thing. And I don't intend to get like another editor or anything to help me for the time being. So the unfortunate and bad thing is that this month in particular, which is November, I'm going to be a little bit more busy. One, because I'm traveling a lot. Like I'm literally flying. Wait, I'm flying tomorrow. As in, not like it's past 12 midnight. So like today I'm still in Singapore, but I'm flying off tomorrow. And then I have a bunch of things that I need to do every few days from now. And yet I promise you guys that I will be filming some Enfield video. So I just need to let you guys know that within this month itself, my video pace will be a lot slower. Like there's some AK videos that I wish I was making. And I wish that I was on full force with my RPD and Operator Showcase guide. But I'm going to be a little bit busier. So I'm still going to be streaming on a regular basis. If you all didn't know, I have my stream schedule on Discord. Like I placed what I'm going to stream in the next few days. Tomorrow we're going to play Echo Die, the Phantom Outer event. And then next week when I'm back, I'm still going to give you some story reading. We're going to be story reading before Endfield drops, you know. So like that's going to be important. And then once that's all done, I won't be posting as much videos within this month, but I will try to post the videos that I promise to achieve. So what I mean is that there's a nice video essay that I want to make. I hope I post it by tomorrow before I fly. It's just about the AK community. It's like a little bit of a commentary of me sharing what I wish for the AK community to be. And then subsequently I don't know if I want to make a video about the blueprint stuff. I might make a video about the blueprint stuff like quite a bit later on. And then whether or not Enfield has identity, I will consider whether I release that video before or after the beta test too. Because if I'm going to be slower in terms of producing my videos, I have a feeling that as much as I want to discuss about the identity of the game, maybe I'll just do it after beta test 2 or like in the middle of the beta test 2 gameplay. And then we'll do that. So what I mean to say is streaming wise, you'll still see me kind of regularly, but then video making, you'll see me on a little bit of a slowdown, okay, for like this month. I'll be a lot more active in terms of like video making in next month and the year ahead really. But for now, I need a wind down time. All right. So I hope you all don't mind that you'll see me being a little bit more absent on YouTube for now. But yeah, I'll still be online on stream, as active as I can be. Okay, sounds good. Make the blueprint and identity videos in one. I don't know. I'll think about it. I just need to make sure that I promise my Enfield videos before Enfield releases. You know, if I post some Enfield videos while beta 2 happens, makes sense. But yeah. So there's that. Okay, anyways, I shall return tomorrow night. Is tomorrow event starting at the earlier timing or the usual timing? Let me double check. If it starts earlier, then I can stream earlier. But if it starts... Oh, it starts earlier. It does, right? Damn! I can sleep early. Wait, I can catch my flight. It starts 2 hours early. I have a morning flight on Friday. That's good. Okay, great. I'll see you guys there then. Looking forward to get Tragodia. Yeah, I think this is a new normal time, and that's going to be good. Yeah, I need to do everything in one stream. So it's good that it starts earlier as well, since I'm flying off. So, okay. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I shall see you all in another one. Alright? I'll say good night to you guys. Bye. Am I coming to Indonesia in the weekends? Yes, I am. On Saturday. Call me Furo. I will give the details on my Discord. Please keep watch for announcements. Okay, bye.